Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to Ntv At One. My name is Malcolm Simi. Let's have a look at the headlines quickly. Drumming up support to the Ministry of Health joins the drive to urge Ugandans to be counted so that it can improve on service delivery. And MPs ask for a week's extension of the registration process at village level. And Liberia is planning to receive ZMAP, an Ebola drug. This is Ntv At One, and you welcome. The National Population and Housing Census will be conducted from August 28th to September 6th this year, 12 years since it was conducted in 2012. To bring us up to speed about the preparations for the census is the Executive Director of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Ben Paul Mungereza. You're very welcome, Dr. Ben. At the start of this bulletin, and fast things faster, just update us on the census process. How far have you gone, and what should we expect?
The census process is in a very high gear. As I talk now, we are training all people who are going to supervise the census at the sub-county level. And this training is at every district in Uganda, and also at every division in Kampala. We are training a team to handle the census in the division. Following this training, which will be 10 days, it is ending on Thursday, we'll have training for the parish supervisors and the enumerators themselves. And that will run from 16th August up to 25th. That's 10 days or so. And then from there, we'll start on the enumeration. On 26th, they will traverse the villages to familiarize themselves with the places. First of all, these enumerators who have been recruited are people from those home areas. And so they will familiarize themselves with the area on 26th. And 27th night, going the morning of 28th, is the census night. Everybody who will have spent that night in the country will be enumerated. And the enumeration will take 10 days, from 28th August to 6th September. And we are ready. We are ready. The districts have received all the materials they need to conduct the exercise, including the resources.
So we don't expect any hiccups now?
No.
Like the challenges we've had in the current registration?
No, not really. Not really.
Smart. So what kind of questions should people expect from enumerators and officials conducting the census?
Well, basic questions about yourself, your age, your sex, your marital status, your highest level of education attained. But we also go to the household and find out the kind of house you are living in, what materials for the roof, for the floor, for the walls. We also ask about your sources of water for drinking and the source of energy, fuel wood or electricity or solar and so on and so forth. We also ask information about the education facilities your children are using, and the health facilities that your household uses. Now, all these. And then we also ask about access to the internet, presence of a television in a home, the radio, ownership of a bank account. Very many questions.
Tell us, what do some of those things help at the end of the day? You will tell me that service delivery, but it tends to come out on paper, really. Can you just draw me a real picture of how this census and in the questions that we ask will, at the end of the day, give us value for money? You see,
it's actually value for money. Actually, it is said that every coin that you invest in statistics yields more than 2 coins at the end of the day. Because the census gives us a picture of how many people there are, where they are, what they do, how they live. And generally, that you need to know that. Because when we are talking about the planning function, planning for who? You are planning for the people. So the moment you know where they are, what they do and how they live, then you can plan for them.
Mr. Mungerza, we've carried out censuses before, and then we've been planning it. But at the end of the day, you hear people crying about service delivery, and I know we cannot be really very, very perfect. But maybe you need to promise Ugandans that this time around, you know, this will definitely deliver the intended purpose of the census.
Well, the intended purpose. The problem is that people sometimes do not appreciate that these statistics are used. Government uses these statistics for planning. Now, for us, as Uganda Bureau of Statistics, we are like a mirror. You know, when you see yourself through a mirror, you see that your hair is not neat. And that's what we do. Now, government then picks up this information. You may wish to know that the indicative planning figures that the Ministry of Finance provides to districts, that is the allocations in different districts, and also at district level, allocations at the different sub-counties depends on the population numbers.
And that is always from your boss.
Yes, the census provides.
Okay, so now the census delayed because of lack of finances before, and so what has been the impact on delivery of services from the government side?
Well, you see, every time we conduct a census, in between the censuses, we do projections. These projections give us an approximate number of people. Well, for example, now, we know that in Uganda, from our projections, we are close to 37 million, close to. Now, I wouldn't say it has affected us significantly because we still have our projections that we use. But of course, it would have been good if we had these real figures much earlier. Yeah. But what we are saying is now we are ready. The resources are available. We have been given all the resources we need this financial year for the exercise.
Ready to hit the ground running. So what kind of support would you expect from Ugandans going forward?
Oh, I would like to call upon, not only Ugandans, I would like to call upon everybody that we should not the night of 27th, going in the morning of 28th. Anybody who will spend that night in the country will be enumerated. I would like to appeal to everybody, whether you are Ugandan or non-Ugandan, whether you are young or old, that will enumerate you, and you should be ready. Please cooperate with our enumerators when they come to you.
The Executive Director of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Ben Mungereza. The ball is in the center, and they're about to hit the ground running. Go and get counted. Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.
Great. The former Minister of Ethics, Miriam Matembe, has decried the manner in which the police arrested suspected sex workers in Kisenyi. The operation was headed by the Kampala Commander for Operations from the Uganda Police, Samu Mara. The over 10 women were rounded up at about 1 p.m. on Monday, accused of selling their bodies to schoolboys, a practice which has been going on even during the day when they are supposed to be at school. Matembe says the girls were mistreated and manhandled.
Saddened and perturbed by the images of women I saw on NTV. Images of women dehumanized and dignifiedly treated. Supposedly that they were found in lodges. It was so painful. I have a deep, sad heart about Ugandans, especially the police. Their inability to know that a human being is a human being made in the image of God. See any man, and they said that they caught men with them in the lodges. But I didn't see any man dehumanized. All I saw were women stripped naked, dehumanized, pulled out, showed into the public. It was exactly like that time of Jesus when the Pharisees wrote that woman caught in adultery.
The Minister of Internal Affairs insists that the national ID registration exercise will not be moved. The registration process at the parish level ended yesterday and now moves to the sub-county level. General Aronda Nyakerima says an extension will cost the government an extra 25 billion shillings, and this was in response to a request by some members of parliament that the process be extended by 1 week. And Ntv at One takes a short commercial break. We'll come back with more stories that are making headlines this afternoon.
Use White Star Laundry Bar Soap with a lemon fragrance and you'll have a fresh, clean day. Be like a star. Use White Star.
Don't disturb that. My dad is in a star.
White Star Laundry Bar Soap. All day fresh clean.
The nose in the air. Hakuna Matata. Everybody rise up, get up, stand up. Happy people dance to the beat. Let us celebrate. You gotta celebrate. Celebrate.
Reham Cola. Taste it. Believe it.
Ariel claims to give us the best stain removal in one wash. So we'll collect tough stains, red sand, fruit juice, chocolate ice cream, to see which gives the best stain removal in one wash. We'll wash one half with Ariel and the other with premium detergent. Did the other premium detergent remove these stains? And Ariel? Yes! Ariel, best stain removal in one wash.
On the next episode, brought to you by...
At Orange, we know you want to do more on the internet. That's why we bring you happy hour day and night.
Men.
A lot of men of faith are having challenges in finding love. They don't know when to start and when to stop.
The Christian guys, I believe, probably they don't want to make mistakes. Then by doing that, sometimes they take a lot of time.
Because of the church and Christianity and everything, people tend to take the fun out of their lives.
I believe that there is no true freedom without boundaries. If you have to consistently set boundaries, you're less creative. Christianity is not a set of rules.
Only on Men.
You can download movies at the lowest prices and never fast from Orange. Dial *133# to buy a data bundle. Happy hour changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
Welcome back. This is Ntv At One. Liberia has said it will receive doses of an experimental Ebola drug to treat affected doctors in the West African country. And a statement published on the Liberian presidency's website said the United States had approved a request from Liberia's President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to ship the medicine. ZMAP, is the drug being talked about here, after a direct appeal to the US President Barack Obama on Friday. This and more in our international news wrap. The Liberian statement said the head of the World Health Organization, Margaret Chan, had authorized the dispatch of additional doses of the experimental drug to Liberia to support the treatment of affected doctors. Those doses will be delivered by the World Health Organization expert this week. Liberian Information Minister Lewis Brown told Reuters news agency that it was not clear how many doses of the drug had been sent, but it could be in Monrovia within the next 48 hours. The company said in a statement that its supply had been exhausted. ZMAP, produced by California-based MAP Biopharmaceutical, had already been used to treat 2 U.S. aid workers and a Spanish priest infected with Ebola. The day's toll from the world's worst outbreak of Ebola has climbed to 1,013 people, according to yesterday's figures from the World Health Organization, which has branded the outbreak an international health emergency. The World Health Organization said the epidemic will likely continue for months as the region's healthcare systems struggle to cope, and has appealed urgently for funding and emergency medical staff. And a new report has alleged that the Egyptian security forces' killings of at least 1,000 protesters at the Rabah al-Adawiya Square sit-in last year in Cairo most likely amount to crimes against humanity. A 195-page Human Rights Watch report released today found that Egyptian security forces gunned down hundreds of unarmed protesters when they moved to disperse the sit-in on August 14th. The killings were part of a policy to use lethal force against largely unarmed protesters on political grounds, Human Rights Watch found, and said it resulted in one of the world's largest killings of demonstrators in a single day in recent history. Human Rights Watch said that over a dozen senior Egyptian leaders should be investigated for their parts in the protesters' death, including Interior Minister Mohammed Ibrahim and current President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who was Defense Minister at the time. That's in international news. A look at sport now. Manchester City have signed defender Iliakwe Mangala from Porto, a fee understood to be about £32 million. And Liverpool are discussing Samuel Eto'o as a potential candidate as the club look to bring in a new striker to probably replace Luis Suarez, who left for Barcelona.
Manchester City made Eliakim Mangala the most expensive defender in the history of British football after paying £31.9 million to sign the French centre-back from FC Porto. Mangala's protracted move to the Premier League champions finally went through on Monday, with his transfer fee eclipsing the £30 million deal that took Rio Ferdinand from Leeds to Manchester United in 2002. Mangala became City's sixth signing of the summer after agreeing a 5-year deal, and manager Manuel Pellegrini is confident that one of the most highly rated defenders in Europe will prove to be well worth the money. Meanwhile, Eto'o is available following his release from Chelsea at the end of last season and would provide experience to Brendan Rodgers' squad. Rodgers has been looking for a forward since a deal for Loic Remy collapsed, but Eto'o at this stage is no more than just under consideration. The 33-year-old does not fit the profile Liverpool have tended to sign under Fenway Sports Group's ownership, but he is a 3-time Champions League winner, and Liverpool, who will return to that competition after a 5-season absence, are short of players with that experience.
And that's it on international sports, but we'll be taking you now to Studio B, where our experts are, and they'll be bringing you enough stories as far as local sports and international sports is concerned. But moving on to Ismail Dakabachigongo now is ready now in Studio B and very live. Ismail, the Togolese are scared after the outbreak of Ebola in West Africa. I know one of their group final stage games is against Guinea, where the disease, I think, first broke out, and they're saying that the game should be moved. It is not only Guinea, but also there are other games that side involving teams from West Africa, really. But how is that going to affect? Because I know we are at one point also going to be playing Guinea and generally countries from West Africa in AFCON.
I think it should be a genuine concern. It should be a genuine concern. If you remember, in the last round of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, Seychelles opted out of their game against Sierra Leone because Sierra Leone is battling that virus of Ebola.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a genuine concern. I know that later this month, the American national team, the Team USA, are supposed to be visiting Senegal before they go to Spain for the World Cup. I highly doubt they'll make that trip with all this news about Ebola. And it's genuine that probably Uganda should start thinking about that too. Probably write a letter to CAF and inform them about the situation in Togo and Guinea-Conakry.
Because Sierra Leone has already said they're not going to host any games, I believe.
Because in Sierra Leone, I saw a story, they've banned all public gatherings. No more. The National Football League was called off because they don't want people to go into places where there are crowds because of Ebola. And I think for me, it's a genuine threat.
So when such a thing happens, Ismail, what happens? Do we get free results?
When Seychelles refused to play, Sierra Leone got through on a bye. So the same thing will happen.
No, but in
this
the case, in the event that now there's a serious outbreak like this, you know, it's not just like a team has failed to get tickets. This is an outbreak of a serious disease which has already claimed millions of people.
I think the easiest thing that CAF should do is moving some of these games to neutral venues, because some of these players are coming from Europe. If you play this game in Morocco, like we did the one against Senegal, if you remember last year in Marrakesh, because of violence in Senegal, I think that's the best option that CAF will be left with.
Thank you very much, Ismail. Dakabachigongo is with Dev Delmansi and the surprise guest on Omumuli. They're bringing you all the updates, fixtures, and all the news that's happening in the world of game. Have a good afternoon. Find Ntv on Facebook and Twitter for updates.
NTV, turning on your world. NTV, turning on your world.
Sometimes children have amazing ideas, but they can lead to tough stains. And for tough stains, there's new Omo Fast Action. Its super fast cleaning technology removes stains fast. New Omo, no one removes tough stains faster.
Hello, doctor. Hello. Are you feeling okay today?
I should be the one asking you that.
Me, I'm very fine. I'm just calling to check on you. You're sure you're okay? No headache, no fever?
But you, man.
Okay, doctor. Just checking.
Make a call for whatever reason. Call someone, call anyone, and change your life. Make a call and you could win 100 million shillings, a car, or a smartphone with free data for a year. Plus, win 2 free minutes every day.
Airtel. Together we can. Here, get ready to be counted. Knowing how many we are makes it easy to plan for all of us. So, answer all questions correctly. Your information is confidential and is only used for equitable resource allocation, improving service delivery, and planning. Count for what counts. Starting from 28th August to 6th September 2014, together we count.
Malaria symptoms typically appear a week after the infectious mosquito bite, when the infected red blood cells begin to burst. Victims experience flu-like symptoms, including chills, fever, sweating, nausea, headache, and vomiting.
This message was brought to you by Church of Uganda, the AIDS Support Organization TASO, and the Ministry of Health.
Mikono gyaffe abali ku NTV tubalamusizaako nnyo akaseera ka muli gw'ebyemizannyo bannange enkuba mukulike enkuba abagiyiseemu obulungi kubanga abali ekyunju babeerawo n'ekibi eriyo kaakati abatunda ebinyogoga baba tebakola naye ate abatunda bu ambuleera ate bwe baba bakola bagamba egira eyongeremu amaanyi bamanyi okuwunyiriza embeera evaamu ensimbi omuli gw'ebyemizannyo gutandise bannange nze Rumansi David tulina omukulu David Bitalo okuvaako mu FMU manyi Power of African Rally eyengedde ne Isima Kigongo naye waali wano era ngenda kubasaba babalamuseeko tugende